So we can play now in the meantime.
Yes, and welcome to Game Changers with Fabian Lyon. Glad you could join us here on this Wednesday night. And we are here to celebrate the culture reggae. And we have brought on a guest that really embodies everything about reggae, the foundation of reggae, and the upliftment of reggae, the positive message of reggae. And that is the original Reverence. And he's coming out of Milford, Pennsylvania. Reverends, thank you for joining us here on Game Changers with Fabian Line. It's an honor, sir.
Blessed love and greetings, Brother Fabian Lyon. It's a great honor to be here on your esteemed platform. Thank you so much for inviting us and inviting our guests, my brother Kurt Johnson of One Culture, and his
Okay.
brother Connor Bass on the bass. Thank you for having us.
Okay, that's
We're
awesome,
live here in
man.
Virginia Beach, Virginia, right now in the studio.
Okay, all right. So, you know, the original. That's one thing that we really, what we've talked about in the past was just music, reggae in particular, and as far as just how we all kind of have this choice with how we display it and how we message it. And but first, though, I do want to maybe have you talk a little bit more about your band members and what song you want to kind of intro us in first.
Well, greetings. So this is One Culture. They're a Virginia-based band here in Virginia Beach. I'll let Kurt introduce himself and Connor. And I am actually doing a collaborative project with them here at Third Island Productions for our upcoming debut album, which is titled The Voice of the Mountains. We've already produced 2 tracks and we're working on a third right now. So Kurt, if you want to say something to them.
How you guys doing? My name's Kurt Jansen. I'm in local Virginia Beach reggae band One Culture, and this is my brother Connor Jansen. He's our bassy, but we've been fortunate enough to meet up with Nicholas, and I run my own studio out of here as well, Third Island Productions. And I've been blessed and grateful to meet him. And we're about to start working on some heavy hitters. Filmed the music video today, so it's been a very productive day. But that's pretty much our background.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. And Reverends, just maybe go into one of those songs. Is it one of those songs that is going to be on the upcoming album?
It's actually, we're going to do for you, we're going to open with Buckler and Sheila, freelance acoustic version here. And
Okay.
that's a song that's already on the digital platforms. It's on the Stella Green Farms rhythm, the original song. We did that with a compilation for that 420 release on the Stella Green Farms. So we're going to treat you with a in-house version of it here live, right here in the Third Island production studio with One Culture.
Okay, no doubt.
Yeah, man, run the thing. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners. For his delight is in the law of the Most High Jah, and in his law does he meditate day and night. Original Reverence, One Culture. Sit up in the hills and just a hold a reverence. Chant a psalm a day, moving from strength unto strength. Truths and rights we deal with, we don't want no false pretense. On the sacrament and hold a higher realms. On the sacrament and hold a higher realm. Truths and rights we deal with, we don't want no false pretense. We don't want no false pretense. Trample on the beast and trample on the serpent. Jaja is the buckler and shield. He is the buckler and shield. Jaja is the buckler and shield. Jaja is the buckler and shield. Jaja Jaja is the buckler and shield. Sit up in the hills and just a hold a rev. Chant a psalm a day, moving from strength unto truth and right to deal with. We don't want no false pretense. On the sacrament and all that. Game changers, baby lions. Thank you for having us, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Said we bond the sacrament and all the higher realms. Woe to the backbiters and the evil doers. When the evil man cast their lots of eye flesh, never did they know that Jaja keep me truly blessed, 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 blessed. Let's give them a little top boys. Bless, 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 bless. Sit up in the hills and just a whole a rev. Rents, rents, rents. Jaja is the buckler and shield. The buckler and shield. Sit up in the hills and just a. Yes, I.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Rastafari. Blessed love.
Blessed, man. That's a nice
One
sample.
culture.
Nice sample.
Woe to the backbiters and the evil bloody workers. When the wicked man cast their lots of my flesh, 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 flesh. Little did they know that Jaja keep me truly blessed, 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 blessed. Oh, sit up in the hills and just a own a reverence. I just a own a reverence. East. Give thanks.
Yes. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Rastafari.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that, Reverend.
Big up.
And you know we hear so many different genres, even subgenres in reggae. You know, you have the dancehall, and you definitely have lovers rock, and so just tell me a little bit about your particular genre, Reverend, as far as what would you call this? And I hear obviously a lot of chanting in there, so maybe just give the audience maybe a little background on the type of reggae that you kind of specialize in.
Well, give thanks to the question. You know, of our type of music is a spiritual offering. It's a contribution that is surrounded in frequencies of sound that's built on the energy of the heart. So it's a 1-2 vibration, which is in concert with the Nyabingi Trad as Rastafari. And we bring forward our sound based on that earth frequency. So it may sound unconventional at times to the traditional reggae. At times, sounds like We Are the Wi-Fi, which we're working on right now. But you know, our music is just very different. At times we do reggae music that sounds traditional, but we are rooted in a unique song, hence why the sobriquet, The Original Reverence. A lot of live instruments and a lot of chanting rooted in that Rastafari liberty. Did we freeze? Are you there, Fabian? I think it froze.
Oh no.
Fabian, are you there?
Might fix.
I don't know what happened. Hey, Fabian, are you with us? Are you there, Fabian?
Yeah, we're back. I think we just lost connection for a little bit, man, but we should be good. So
Alright.
so Reverend, I was just asking, how did you how did you get to this where we are right now as far as reggae and this particular reggae? Just tell me a little bit about your backstory.
Well, you know, we entered music at a very tender age. We were 3 years old, and we were tossed into piano lessons, you know, by our grandparents who raised us in beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. I like to say salute and respect to all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, both at home and abroad, if you're listening or watching. And, you know, that was how we were first engaged with music. And from that experience, we gained a little more interest in music. As the original Reverence, it took us a few years to come forward as Reverence. We've been supporting music and musicians like One Culture and others for that period of time. But for us, it was that early start that really influenced us, and being it from a place like Trinidad and Tobago, as you know, we're the creators of the only musical instrument in the 21st century, the steel pan, and
Mm.
carnival is part of our culture. And we are a very mixed race of people, a very mixed nation that's very diverse. So you're influenced by East Indian culture, influenced by Asian culture, and you're influenced by Spanish and French cultures. Hence why you find that our music is so colorful.
Okay. All right. So, Reverends, your personal journey, though, maybe speak on that a little bit. And um, you talked about you started in the business. You took a little hiatus. What got you back in the industry? What kind of drew you back into the industry?
Thanks. That's another great question. Supporting music and musicians for about 20 years before I came back into the industry sort of allowed me to have a good, broad sort of perspective of different genres, different styles. But more so, what really struck me, Fabian, was the personality of artists and musicians that I felt at times was not humble enough or not approachable enough person to person. And I felt that, that was something that I had always said if I came back into music or I did music professionally, I would want to approach a little bit differently, and be a little bit more empathetic and more personable in the approach. So, what really brought us back was an acoustic guitar that my wife had purchased for me as a present. And, she sort of teased me into not being willing to play it and sort of just having it sitting there for a number of years. And she sort of, lit a fire under me. I picked it up. I played a few strings. We had a Wi-Fi in our bedroom, which is now our bedroom studio, where we collaborate with Kurt and his band from. We had a Wi-Fi acoustic. It sounded really great in our bedroom. We started to share that version with friends. They were very encouraging of what we did. They said, "Hey man, you should record that." So I was nudged into actually recording it. We did that in 2018, and the rest is history. From there, folks like the energy. It was a very unique sound. It was a very different, refreshing type of music. And that sort of brought the attention to us. And then we followed that up with Seashells and some other singles.
Okay. And just talk about this album that you're working on, Reverends. What was the inspiration behind it, and why is it different than other works that you've done?
The inspiration behind the album is really to leave a footprint in the music industry that would be an example for the younger generation that is coming, that would be an example for the present talent that we have today, and that can be looked back at my children's generation as something they're proud of that I have done. So, that's my answer.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's just talk about and in a couple minutes we're going to play a video of you in concert. It's called Cultivated Mind live in Harlem, Sylvana from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're gonna get to that in a couple minutes. Just want to kind of show you doing your thing, in concert form. But just talk about what's your responsibility as an artist? Or what kind of responsibility do you hold yourself to as far as the content of your music?
Well, as an artist, I think our first responsibility is to remember that we represent the voice of the people. So that is very imperative when you step forward to the earth. You present yourself, you attire yourself, you articulate yourself, and you are an example that should be as exemplary as possible at all times. Um, my responsibility personally as an artist is to ensure that I am representing the legacy of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, and Empress Wazaru Menin Aswa, um, which is the royal monarchy of Ethiopia. And as Rastafarians, that is very dear to our heart. And, you know, it is our responsibility to speak out when there's injustice and inequality. So, for example, right now, as you know, the situation with Nzinga King in Jamaica, where her locks were removed and cut off by a member of the police force who
Right.
represents that colonialist power, is something that is an injustice that we have been fighting for, our forefathers have fought for. And we, the singers and players of instruments, have a responsibility to um, voice and articulate and be very passionate and activist about bringing light to these issues. So for me, that's my responsibility. It's also my responsibility to ensure that the creed of Rastafari, which is the naked be clothed, the hungry fed, the sick taken care of, the children,
Hmm.
that's our creed, and that's how we try to live through our music and the lyrics that we put forward there, so that it's empowering, it's enlightening, and it's something that we can all feel proud of as a people.
Yeah. And Rastafari and reggae music, the ties go back many years. And just to hear what you just mentioned as far as that young lady in Jamaica, and for those who don't know, she was taken into police custody, and at some point her locks were cut off, and it obviously caused the uproar that it deserved to cause. Uh, Reverends, when you hear about that happening in 2021, uh, what do you think about that, and what are other members of the Rasta community, as far as you know, what are they saying about this incident, and how much further we have to go in terms of just accepting Rastafari and really uh, giving it the credit and respect that it deserves?
Great question. Emancipation and independence, um, still remain a fleeting illusion, number one. So too is our repatriations, you know, and reparations. So if we begin there, we should not be surprised as to what's happening today. Um, the colonial powers, along with governments around the world, have been a direct result for the genocide that occurred with our African brothers and sisters, our ancestors. 1619 is
Hmm.
a very significant period in time for the grounds on which we stand right now and from where we're having this interview with you here in Virginia.
Hmm.
So we have to see that Rastafari is the living legacy of that time. We are the living representation of our ancestors' struggle, as is represented in the covenant that we have chosen to take on as our Nazarite vow, and which is a separation from Babylon. It is a sovereignty that we must ensure remains sovereign at every cost, because we've struggled and suffered for this cause, and we still continue to do that in 2021. So it's very disheartening to see that the respect that we should have. What is Jamaica without Rastafari? What is reggae music without Rastafari? What is
Hmm.
the world without Rastafari? Because we now have a alternative type of lifestyle that Rastafari has given the world, that we and our ancestors have coined ital, which the world refers to as vegan.
Hmm.
The ways of the king, his imperial majesty, is the perfect example for mankind to find perfect peace and unity. And until that color of a man's skin is of no more significance, there will always be war, you
Hmm.
know? So it's a serious thing. And for us Rastafarians, we demand equal rights and justice. And we've been fighting for the same issues for too long. We can reference what happened in Carroll Gardens in I think it was 63. You're probably better at the date there. Um, and we know from Pinnacle the injustices that have always occurred, and the struggles in the 1980s for children with dreadlocks or Rastafarian sons and daughters to be allowed to attend schools in the island, not just in Jamaica, but not just in the Caribbean, but around the
Hmm.
world. even here in the United States of America, there's always a struggle for the representation and respect of Rastafari and our covenant, which is our locks.
Okay, no doubt. And I just want to maybe turn the attention to your band members there who's been waiting patiently. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I do, and you're the dynamic reggae brother tandems it seems, man. But I want to
they're two
ask
of four.
you, what's that?
They're two of four. The band is much bigger. This is just a
Okay,
portion of their band.
okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask them. Tell me about the reggae scene in your hometown there, and just maybe a background on what reggae music means to both of you.
So we have a pretty wide variety of scene. You know, you have like here you have your American reggae bands, and then your white boys that play reggae. But I mean, and we have our traditional like Rastafari reggae. There's like so many different sanctions, but reggae is reggae, and I mean, the scene's pretty big here. And one man that we work with a lot, Tony Brand of Cultivated Mind, who is actually going to be on the video you guys are showing. He's a great friend of ours too.
Yep.
And he does a lot for the community as far as reggae music and everything else goes. And to us, I mean that's what it's all about as well. It's like helping the community out, and we're also trying to eventually hit the road and push our music further out besides Virginia Beach.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. And how long have you guys been uh, in? What got you into reggae, man? How did you guys get your start?
That's so for us, like we obviously heard Bob and like Sublime and stuff, but then that like farther going in deep into the genre, I heard this band from Los Angeles called the Expanders. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or anyone else has ever heard of them, but they are probably the most wicked band in America because they go the extra mile to make sure that the history of reggae music is known to the American audience.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and the singer collects vintage, old school, like roots reggae records, like old rock steady, like skinhead records and ska records, just everything you can
Hmm.
think of. Studio One, Treasure Isle, and that really inspired me to learn about the history of it. Um, I forgot what the question was. I kind of went on a tangent.
What inspired you to get into it?
Oh yeah. And it's just, and I'm just like finding all these new like reggae producers like Tippy, Alfred, and Moonbane and Ja David from Zionite Kings out of St. Croix in Florida, and I'm just like I really appreciate just the dynamics and the quality of the music. It's very different from any other genre. There's no other genre like it. It's very unique, and the instrumentation behind it and the messages are just it's just all a bunch of great things compiled into one for music for me. So
Okay, no doubt.
That's cool.
All right. And Reverence, just talk about who inspired you as far as which artists really got you into reggae. Which of the foundational artists really inspired you the most?
The artist that inspires me the most in reggae music is his brother Vaughn Benjamin,
Mm,
otherwise known as Midnight or Akibeka.
mm-hmm,
He's my greatest inspiration.
same
Personal.
here.
He's an inspiration to so many artists, and he's a personal, um, brother to so many around the world. He's an ancestor now, but his music continues to inspire us, and we all channel Vaughn Benjamin's wisdom, his articulation skills, and his priestly presence, and the example, like I had mentioned, that he is left by the way he walked and the way he dealt with music and the way he expressed himself. He's left a glowing example for us all to try to emulate. So
mm-hmm,
he's my top inspiration. And I've been inspired by people like Bob Andy in particular,
uh-huh,
Sir Winston McCough, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear, We actually picked up some Burning Spear vinyl today.
And Congo Records.
Yeah, you know, so a lot of those root artists are my inspiration. Muta Baruka for his dub poetry and his preservation of our African roots and how he presents himself and what he is so passionate about passing on to the coming generations. Those are a few of my inspirations. You know, the younger artists, I'm inspired by the music of Chronix. You know, I really like his energy. I like his message. And there's so many other artists that are coming up. Mortimer is also one of my inspirations within reggae music per se, if that's the genre. You know, to the question of how I've been inspired in reggae.
Right. Okay. Okay. If you guys have another a piece ready to go, man, and after that we'll get into the video. But if you have something else ready to play, man, we're good.
So we're gonna do Seashells is a original tune record that I did originally with um, brother Noel Alfonso, who's the son of Roland Alfonso, one of the founding members of the Scatterlights, and he's considered one of Jamaica's chief musicians. So I have the honor of doing a Seashells remake, which is gonna be a remaster, remake, dub version also. And we're working on that right now as we speak. We're building the song from scratch. Every reverence tune you hear, we build the rhythms from scratch. You know, so we're gonna give you a little sneak preview of Seashells.
Okay.
That's gonna be released to the public very soon, very shortly. And
Okay.
that's the
Good.
music video we worked on today. No,
No, today was
Wi-Fi. Yeah. All right, so
Wi-Fi.
we'll see Seashells soon, guys.
All right.
Big up yourself, Mr. Fabian Lyons of the
That's
Game Changers. Yeah. Seashells, seashells, listening to seashells as I pray. This road has been rough and the journey so long. I'ma try hard each day, trying hard to rise from wrong. So I put pen to paper, I get my lyrics together. The people listen to songs, and all the masses sing along. Seashells, seashells, listening to seashells. As I pray, as I pray, as I pray, pray for you, I pray for you. God provides every blessing, His love sees us through. So grateful for His presence.
Okay, might have froze up there a little bit. All right, waiting to be. If you're just joining us here on Game Changers, we're with D'Original Reverence. He's out of Milford, Pennsylvania. He's in Virginia Beach right now, where he's cutting some tracks and recording some videos. So we're waiting for him to join us back. That's D'Original Reverence, and looks like we're getting him back right now. But glad you could join us right here on Game Changers, and tonight is a salute to Foundation Reggae, Roots Reggae, if you will. And this has played a great part in the evolution of reggae, and it will always be a cornerstone of reggae. So we have the Original Reverence, and he's doing his thing, as I said, in Milford, Pennsylvania. That's where he's based out of, and he is one that really believes in the culture of reggae and really holding reggae to a high standard. And when he returns, we're going to go to one of his videos, and then we're going to ask Reverend about the content as far as lyrics in his music, and ask him where he thinks years or so. And that's no different right now. So we're just waiting to be rejoined by D'Original Reverence. Glad you could join Game Changers. And Reverence was kind enough to already play two of his songs, and he should have at least one more song to go before we close the show. So once again, thank you. Could join us right here on Game Changers with Fabian Lion. Okay. If you have any questions for D'Original Reverence, just inbox me, and I will ask him once he joins us. He should be back pretty shortly. Okay. So once again, here on Game Changers with Fabian Lion, glad you could make time here on this Wednesday. And we have lost our guest, D'Original Reverence, temporarily, but he should be returning anytime soon. So just hold tight. Just hold tight. Hope you enjoyed the first two pieces from Reverence, and he should have at least one more. And before that, we're actually going to go to a video of his. So just waiting for him to rejoin us. The video is Cultivated Mind, and this was live in Harlem, Sylvana in 2019. So we got that queued up and ready to play. Any questions for Reverends? Just as I said, send it to me, and I will definitely ask him, and we can get this show going. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm hanging up now. All right. So we're about to be rejoined by D'Original Reverence. Had a little technical difficulty there, but we are back. Glad you could join us here on Game Changers with Fabian Lyon. And once again, we're with D'Original Reverence, a roots reggae artist out of Milford, Pennsylvania. But he's coming to us out of Virginia Beach, where he is working on his latest album. So glad the Reverence could join us. Thank you for your patience. These things happen. And I guess the music was so hot that it disconnected everything, right? So anyway, if you have any questions for Reverends, please send it to me on IG, and I will pose them to Reverends. I think he's coming back on now. If you're just joining us, this is a salute to the roots reggae, which is a big foundational genre of reggae, and this is what D'Original Reverence. This is the genre that he has picked up, and just to hear his story before we got cut off of how he was inspired by it and how it all ties into the Rastafari religion. It seems to be a perfect marriage, so to speak. So waiting for D'Original Reverence to get back on with us and speak maybe a little bit more about that connection between the Rastafari religion and reggae. So waiting for him to rejoin us. Any questions or comments? Once again, you can send it to me in my inbox. I am checking them. And we're going to have at least one more performance from Reverence. And we'll also show one of his videos. Okay. Okay, we got a video now. This is the Cultivated Mind live in Harlem, Sylvania in 2019. I think that's what's being queued up now. And this is the original Reverence in concert then. All right, there we go. Reverends. Can't hear you? Okay.
Greetings from studio. Are you hearing me, Reverence? Are you hearing me, Reverence? not hearing you.
Okay, Reverence, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, man. Trying to work out our technical issues here. Once again, glad you could join us here on Game Changers with Fabian Lyon. We are with D'Original Reverence, reggae star out of Milford, Pennsylvania.
That's weird. Okay, cool. I think it should be good. Yeah, we're in there now.
All right. How about now? How about now? We should be in there. Okay.
If you no, I'm gonna wait till you sign on. Though, are you good?
Yeah, I believe we're good. We're seeing ourselves.
Okay. I'm gonna hang up.
Okay. Gonna come back in.
Back.
You're gonna need to leave your.
Got a little echo there. Okay, looks like we're back here, Reverends.
Yes. We're back.
We're back. We're back in business, man.
Back in business.
Okay, a little hiccup here, but we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. So
If you want to delay, but we're ready now.
okay, good. And we're gonna go actually go to this video As I said, you want to give me a little backdrop on the Cultivated Mind live in Harlem, Savannah, 2019, what that was all about?
Thanks. So Tony Brand, fondly known as the Maestro, is a good friend of all of us, and he's a sweet bread here in Virginia. So, Tony was doing his East Coast tour in New York City in 2019. And because we're in the service of music, we decided we would go up to Harlem to support his show and his tour. And while we were there as a guest in the audience, he was gracious to call us onto the stage, and we performed a couple songs together. And
Right.
the video that I think, about to show is for 10 Pound Cali, which we did with Tony Brown here in Virginia. And since we've done that, we've recently remixed and remastered it in Argentina with my friend Andy of Wami Records. So that's the storyline behind that and how we came about being there that night.
Okay. And just want to let you know, our engineer Sergeant Morris is working on that, and he definitely is one of the best in the business. You can find him on Instagram. Very, very proud to have him on our Game Changers team. Searchin, that's Serchen Morris, and big ups to Searchin. And
Big up, Sergeant.
big up to Searchin for real. Rev, tell me about any tour dates coming up this year until we get the video queued up for you.
Well, Reverence World Tour is a work in progress, and sometimes the tour venues and dates occur in a divine way. So
Okay.
we were here in Virginia for just about a few days, and we touched a number of stages, including One Cultures. For us going forward, the next stage performance for us is going to be in Milford, Pennsylvania for the Milford Music Festival. So if you guys or anyone you know is in that area, please come through and support September 11th, the Milford Music Festival.
Okay.
We'll be playing at Breathless Raw Life Juice Bar and Cafe, which is located in the Apple Valley Shops. And we'll be joined by the legendary Joe Ferry and the Big Scar Band, alongside myself, D'Original Reverence, and a few special guests and friends. So that's going to be our next live stage presence performance. On that date, we will also be performing alongside. We'll be also performing alongside Simone and reggae rock with Earth Maxwell. I'm also going to be contributing music to the Milford Music Fest.
Okay.
Other than that, we're working on the album, The Voice of the Mountains, alongside his brothers, including Tony and others. And sort of, that's what we have scheduled now in terms of bookings.
Okay, great,
More
man.
in studio work than bookings. As the bookings occur, we spoke with some friends here over the weekend about doing a charitable event in December. So, we definitely are available as things unfold.
Okay. All right, that's good stuff coming up, man. So we're gonna go to that video now. As I said, Cultivated Mind live in Harlem, Savannah, 2019. Here we go.
Original reference. Yes, it's been great rocking with y'all, man. One more time, thanks to man. You up for Mr. Down, yeah? Everybody take everybody to this way. Respect and good night, yeah? And all my East Coast people, all my hard-working East Coast 9 to 5, grinding all the time kind of people. I don't know what they do on the East Coast. I don't have time for that nonsense. But over here, we're hard First time scenes, so to make your money on the various beats. People teach on the town, the long out to breathe. From the coast where people ain't got chance to trains, and you and the clubbies where you run starts from. Ooh, yeah. No matter how hard, no matter how cold, we on our way, on our feet. So people get ready, cause the East Coast rising up and up and up. We on our way, on our way. So people get ready, cause the East Coast rising up. We on our way, on our way. So people get ready, cause the East Coast rising up. We on our way, on our way. So people get ready, cause the East Coast rising up.
Big up King Street Records.
All right.
Yeah, big up
Okay.
King Street Records.
Nice little jam going there, man. That must have been quite a vibe in Harlem.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night, you know. The people
Yeah,
really, it was a great night. We're grateful for Tony for inviting us to share the stage with him.
no doubt, man. There's something about Harlem, man. It's some magic over there, man. Harlem
Yeah.
just, you know, Harlem
Tony's
got
back
some,
in, Tony's
huh?
back in Harlem. Tony's going to be back in Harlem in October. So for the viewers, you know, you can check out Cultivated Mind Music on Instagram and you'll be able to see his schedule. He'll be back in Harlem in October. We hope to be there to join him once again at that venue and the Shrine. Both venues we played with him in 2019.
Okay. Okay, Rev. I just wanted to ask you, where you see reggae is now, where you see it's going, what part of it would you want to maybe tweak or change or whatever you want to do, and then we can go into that final set. But where are we now with reggae, and where do you see it going?
Great questions. Reggae music is alive and well. The music of the King of Kings is alive and well. And the music that the elders have left for us to take care of. You know, sometimes we're asked, what do you think of the bad reggae music? And we say, you know, how do you determine what's good and bad? Maybe it's the environment of the artist that is influencing their lyrics that may sound negative or may sound um, unappealing to a particular listener or not. So I think it's more about the conversation that we have
Hmm.
as a village around um, the ambassadors of reggae music today. You know, I think reggae music has brought the world much closer together because, as is evident right now, as we are with you, the brothers to the left of me are an example of the power of reggae music. And that is another one of our responsibilities. To your question previously about our responsibilities, to make sure that reggae music, the essence of it, is always maintained. The integrity of the genre is rooted in Jamaica. That's, you know, where reggae music bore its first voice.
Hmm.
And I think that we have to be very careful as artists in terms of the lyrical content that we put out there. And you have to know who you are first before you engage this art form. You know, it's more for us, it's more than entertainment. We're not entertainers. Um, we're players and singers of instruments making a joyful noise unto the Lord. I would say that reggae music needs to maintain its integrity at all times and respect the various genres, just like the various houses of Rastafari. We are one house, you know. So reggae music is one voice, whether you be dancehall, roots rockers, you know. What is important though is for humility to be paramount, for empathy to be at the forefront of whatever you want to contribute as your version of reggae music, like the brother said, you know.
Hmm.
it's very necessary that you as an individual artist, or you as an individual promoter or musician, is rooted in who you are as an individual first. Meaning you have to know, and if you know yourself and you come forward in the reggae industry with that confidence and knowledge of yourself as an individual, everything else will cosmically fall into place. It is important to respect each other in the industry. You have to be able to speak to people in a way that is respectable, even if you disagree or you know. I think reggae's future is very bright. Um, it's encouraging for me as an artist, as a man, as someone on the road, as Reverence World Tour, to meet and engage brothers, brethren, and sisters along the journey, like Kurt, like Connor, interested in the music that is pioneered by our ancestral roots and our Jamaican legends, and that their willingness to share has been gifted in their dynamics, in their communities. And I've seen firsthand the power of what that music does when they play it and when people enjoy what they're doing. So reggae music is alive and well. We the ambassadors of reggae must never forget it is our duty to care for it. It's still a golden child. You
Okay, no doubt, no doubt, and it is a sacred cow, so to speak, and we need
Sacred
to
lion.
we definitely need to treat it with the respect that it deserves. Okay, Reverend, if you have another song to go to, and also where can we find you on your social media platforms?
Social media platforms, and thank you so much for having us once more. Our sincere apologies for the technical difficulties that may have delayed some of our enthusiastic viewers, and it's been such an honor to be here with you, Brother Fabian. You can find our music on all digital streaming platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, um, Deezer, Google Play, Bandcamp. Um, those are some of the platforms, but practically all streaming platforms. And you can follow us on Instagram at The Original Reverence, and on Facebook at The Original Reverence 432HZ. That's our handles where you can find us and follow our music.
I wanted to ask you a question though before we go to that. What's the biggest misconception of Rastafari, in your opinion, Reverends? What would that be?
Wow, that's a great question. We may need more than an hour for the answer. You know, interesting because Kurt literally asked me the same question when we were ending the video today, the music video, and we were leaving Virginia Beach, and we were just sort of like getting a breath. It's very hot today. We did our locations. We tried everything in one day. He asked me that question. So once, I think the greatest misconception, as is evidence of what occurred to Princess and the King, is that the Rasta man, Rasta woman are irrelevant in society in terms of our contributions, in terms of our liberty, in terms of our social significance. You know, I think the biggest misconception is that Rastafarians are a people who are lost and hail a dead king. You know, why Haile Selassie for us? Haile Selassie the first, because he's the living King of Kings for I and I people. You know, um, it's such an important thing to clarify. So I love your question. So what has Rastafarians contributed to the earth? We've given the earth culture, we've given the earth music, we've given the earth standards of living, we've given the earth clean choices of sustainable existence, etc. And we've given the earth love, the password of love, because regardless of what occurs at Scott's Pass or what occurred here in Clarendon with Princess Nzinga, or what occurred in Pinnacle. Love is always going to be the answer. Love is always going to be what heals us and brings us closer. So we are not a lazy people. We're not an uneducated people. We're not a poor people. We may be poor in material riches, but we are wealthy in spiritual wealth, you know? And that is what makes the Rasta man and the Rasta woman peculiar, unique, beautiful people that reflect the rainbow, you know? And that, I think, is how I would like to answer the question, because there's so many misconceptions beyond disrespect, and it's embodied in the disenfranchisement and the disrespect that was given to our Princess Nzinga. If you cut the locks of one Rastafarian, you cut the locks of every Rastafarian. And it is our responsibility, by the example we emanate as individuals, to always preserve that legacy, so that there are no more misconceptions, and that when things like this occur, we can come together as a community of Rastafari globally to stand up in solidarity, you know, not just when we have these incidents, but throughout our existence, so that we can once and for all put an end to these misconceptions. Because Rastafari way is the way that the earth must accept the peace, the love, the togetherness, the self-sufficiency, as as our father, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, has instructed and left us the example of. And I was so honored to once again see you have his son, the Honorable Dr. Julius Garvey, on the Game Changer. So thank you for bringing forward legacy and traditions. Thank you, Brother Fabian, for your strength through your personal loss. And thank you for your strength and courage to do what you're doing, and for having us on and for being open to share it with the world.
Yes, and actually, the honor is mine. Reverends, thank you so much for coming on the show. And if your band members, if they could just say their names one more time, and then just tell me the name of this last piece that you're going to perform on our way out.
All right, thanks. So I'm going to introduce their very brand new single. It's an amazing, awesome video that you must go see. It's available on YouTube.
It's on Reggae.
It's on Reggaeville. You know, it's a great video. So, Raised to be.
Yeah.
One
Okay.
culture. You're going to get a live treat right now. I'm going to leave them do their thing.
And just to give you guys our name, I'm Kurt Jansen. And
Right.
Kurt
I'm
Awesome Jensen and Connor Bass.
Connor Bass.
All right.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
All right.
Give thanks. Respect.
Yeah, man.
You good? All right. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Life is not a feather, it's blunt and happy. But with a perspective, go down to be steady. My father once told me to laugh at the little things. My mother always taught me to be kind and spread my wings. We are who we were raised to be.
Raised to be, growing up can be so hard. Being dealt with the wrong hand, unfortunate enough to have such love. There is some things I don't understand, but one thing I've learned from others who've struggled is to embrace the negative, the feeling less trouble, turning goodness, being stronger you once hurt. Lift up your sadness, raise yourself up and return. Don't let your past define your state. Don't let anyone ever decide your fate. Be strong, that you learn, live for yourself. Yeah. Raise yourself to be raised to be.
All right.
You up and inspire you every day. Rastafari are the ones that are with you. They are the ones that'll make you who you are. Who you raise yourself to be. To be. Oh, who we were raised to be. To be. Raised to be. We are. We were raised to be.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Respect for that, the original reverence. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Here at Game Changers with Fabian Line. Glad we got the education today on some Rastafari and also the reggae genre that you play and you do so well, man. So thank you so much for providing that to our audience. It's a blessing. It's been a blessing to have you on.
Thanks so much, Fabian Lyons, for having us.
Baby, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. It was a great joy and honor. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. All the best to you, and we'll definitely be in touch. Thanks for coming on the show.
Blessed love and greetings. Thank you.
Yes, blessed love.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right. That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank
That was
you.
good. You guys